I have some friends that live outside of Port Angeles, Washington, on the north side of the Olympic Peninsula. I met them many years ago because they were Sasquatch witnesses. They bought a house 10 or 15 years ago now, and within a few weeks, their gardener saw a Sasquatch nice and close and personal during the day. A few weeks later, the female that lives at the house also saw a Sasquatch. I eventually made contact with them, and over the years, we've just become good friends. You know, whether or not Bigfoot's involved at all, we're just good friends now. So I get to hear about all this stuff that's happening on their property, and it happens with a pretty frequent regularity. If you want to hear some of these stories about what happened on the property, listen to the podcast Bigfoot and Beyond with Cliff and Bobo. That's my podcast, in case you didn't know we had one. Episode 149. Michael is the gentleman I'm talking about here. He tells a lot of the stories over the 1 hour conversation that we had.
I went to one end of the house after I'd turned off the lights for the night. I went to get something out of the living room, and something hit the wall of the house. I had no idea, but whatever it was, it scared me so much that I went running to the far end of the house and got my rifle and came back and turned on the outside lights. And of course, I didn't see anything by that point, but it was quite startling. But I did not have any idea it was Sasquatch at that point until December of that year, when our employee that we had on the property actually had a visual sighting.
There's been numerous sightings. There's been footprint finds, some handprint stuff, and lots of sound events and just spooky feelings all around. Sasquatches, for whatever reason, are in the neighborhood here, and they keep showing up. Back in 2017, I received a text from Michael saying that one of them apparently slapped the top of his house and left a handprint. And that is very, very rare and very, very cool. Michael sent me some photographs of it. But, let's listen to Michael use his own words to tell what happened that night.
Well, I was at the computer at 2 a.m. one night, and there was a lot of thumping. I thought that somebody was stomping through the house, and realized that it wasn't. My wife coming to tell me to turn down the sound, and realized that it must have been something on the roof or just outside hitting the roof. I went to check on my wife, and she was asleep, so it obviously wasn't her. And in the morning, we went outside to see if there was any sign that something had made a ruckus or hit the roof, and lo and behold, it looked like a handprint up about 9 feet up in the air on the roof, standing in the only spot where you could spy at me on my computer that late at night and me not see him.
At the time, I couldn't get up to the property. I was tied up in some other things, so I just decided to leave it to the local researchers in the area. What I didn't know is that they never came out. I didn't know that until 2020, almost 3 years later, when I was talking to Michael on the phone, just having a conversation, and he mentioned that no one ever came out to look at the handprint, but it was still there. It was still up on the roof. Wow. That made me light a fire under my butt, and I got up there. "106 inches. It's hard to see from here. Is it okay to stand on this? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's almost easier to see from down there, or at least in this light.
Yeah, it changes with what time of day it is. Like the sun is almost hitting it directly instead of a glancing blow now.
When I first got there, I got on the roof, and it was really hard to see because it was like in the middle of the day. The sun was shining directly down upon it. You kind of need a low angle light to see some of these more subtle details sometimes. You can barely make out the fingers. Gosh, man, that thing must have been big. I'm not sure this would turn out very well in a photograph at all. You want me to clean your gutters while I'm up here?
Yeah. It'll show up again really good close to sunset.
Will it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the You can see the fingers pretty okay, and you can also see, like, looks like maybe folds in this part right here, like right there where I have a fold, for example. Yeah, maybe we do this again at sunset. You know, just to have a better chance of seeing it.
Okay.
So I could see it. It was there, but it wasn't really giving me enough information. So I decided perhaps the best thing to do is take a walk around the property with Michael, and he can show me some of the things that have happened, and you never know, maybe we'd find something. Their property is surrounded on two sides by a pretty deep ravine. It's fairly narrow, but it's very, very deep and thick and wooded and hard to get around in. So Michael and I walked around down there for a while. He doesn't really go down there. The property owners in this case don't really go out at night. They don't really go into the woods. The Sasquatches are a little scary because for them, it's very, very real. No one likes being scared at your own house. So they kind of drew some mental lines, I guess. This is our area, that's your area, and you know, everybody gets along pretty well.
Right about there, that tree was the very first sighting on the property back in 2011 on December 23rd at 11 in the morning. And my wife saw something moving over through this way, and I saw a thermal footprints fading on the forest floor over there, maybe a year after that.
That's a nice easy way up to your property right there, though.
Yes, it is. And that hollowed out stump area is right there, or where the deadfalls were.
Huh.
See, when I see like this, I didn't step here, but something flattened all this. It's not fluffy. Yeah. So, like this pressed into that. So something, bear, cougar, something pressed that in. When I don't think that just rain would flatten it like that, would it?
No, I don't think so.
So this is actually, I should let you go first, so I don't mess up something.
Well, here's some interesting impressions, and any impressions of any size down in this ravine, they will not be people prints. They are going to be something else. Bear, Sasquatch, maybe, elk, I guess, is a possibility. So these prints deserve a very close look. But this is the kind of stuff that kind of goes, oh, look at that, because it's on a hill, right? So if it is a foot, it's probably about that long, but you can see indentations into the side. There's something there too, actually, huh? But there's also stuff up here. So I don't know. I mean, look.
Daddy.
So as you can hear, we're being called for dinner by Michael's daughter. So we're going to go back to the top, enjoy a short dinner, and then I'm going to get back on the roof because it's late in the day now, and that low angle of sunlight should reveal a little bit more detail. Now that it's getting to be evening time, I can see this impression a lot better than I could earlier in the day. So I can see the palm of the hand, like the butt of the palm right here. Some wrinkles and some fingers that go up to about here. And this is 3 years later, of course, so the most impressive thing about this, I think, is just the height. I mean, holy smokes, we're, what did I say, 106 inches earlier? I think that's what I said. That's pretty high, man. What is 106 inches? 108 is 9 feet. So this, the top of the thing is 9 feet. So this is another 2 feet on top of that. You know, it's like, so yeah, it's 2 feet to the butt of the hand on top of that. So from the ground to here, minimum 11 feet. 11-foot reach.
Wow.
11 feet. 11-foot reach on this thing. And man, how cool is that? I've heard so many stories over the years of Sasquatches slapping the outside of houses or whatnot, but it's very rare to actually see the hand impression that did it. This is an extraordinary piece of evidence, not only because it shows the hand and the size and all that sort of stuff, but also it reaffirms that Sasquatches are responsible for this behavior. Long-term witness situations like this one give us an opportunity to observe Sasquatches in a fairly natural environment over a very long period of time. When you consider the average Sasquatch observation is probably about 2 seconds in length, to know what they're doing season in and season out, year in and year out, that's invaluable information. And I'm so thankful for Michael and his family giving us access to the property, not only for this video, but for a future video as well, which is why I'm doing this one now, for two reasons. Number one, there's ongoing stuff happening on the property almost on a monthly basis. And number two, I was invited to spend the night on the property just a few months ago, and I'm going to tell you all about that in a future video. So stay tuned for that one. I hope you're enjoying the content. We really appreciate you, our members, who make all of this possible at the North American Bigfoot Center. Thank you for your kind words and emails, and I will catch you